Welcome to the Mike on Much podcast. I'm your host, Mike Veerman, and I'm here with my friend and trusted producer, Max Kerman, as well as our pop culture aficionado, Shane Cunningham. Today on the show, fellas, we have Natalie Prass.
A delight.
Yeah, you sat in on this interview, Maxie boy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, so I made sure I was here for it.
I thought it was a delightful conversation. There was like a real chemistry.
Yeah.
We'll get to her in a bit, that interview, to set it up. But before that, I just want to let you know that Natalie is, in fact, if you're in the Toronto area, she's playing the Horseshoe April 14th. So when this comes out, you'll still have plenty of time to come by and check her out. And who knows, maybe Max and I might pop by for that show.
We got to go. She said, let me know. I'll put you on the guest list.
I know. You guys exchanged numbers at the end of our interview.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get to her. Mm-hmm. So check out that show April 14th at the Horseshoe. Her album's called The Future and the Past. Natalie Prass. Other promo that we got to do off the top. Guys, we have a Crave show.
Yeah. It's available on Crave TV.
That's right. So subscribe. Also, there's a free episode up on YouTube with our friend Jared Kiso.
That's right. A full episode. It's got like over 30,000 views now.
It's headed towards 40,000 right now.
Nice. And he just won a couple CSAs, actually.
Let people know what that is.
The Canadian Screen Actors Award? Is that what it is?
What did he win it for, writer and actor?
Yeah, something like that.
It's amazing. Wow. It was actually, credit where credit's due, it was Shane's idea to throw that episode up on YouTube. Yeah. Shane was
I knew it would catch like wildfire. And by the time this is up, there'll be another one up.
That's right.
Oh, which one?
Jodie Whittaker.
Sick.
We'll let you know when that goes up. So this is actually especially sort of important information if you live in the UK or you live in the United States. This is your chance to watch our show on Crave. For all you Canadians, throw a couple bucks at the old Crave.
I did. I know you guys probably get it as part of your employment package here.
No.
But, no?
No, we do get a discount off everything that Bell has to offer.
So if we get the whole cable package, we get like a percentage off the price that I guess a civilian would pay.
Well, I paid the civilian rate, and it's worth every damn penny.
Wow, and that's not you shilling for the company.
No, it's good.
Honestly, Crave is actually a really good deal, and Game of Thrones is coming out soon. So
yeah, what else? There's something else
y'all.
on HBO that I'm loving. Oh, I was watching Broad City because the final season.
And the Neverland Show.
Yeah, it's all there.
The documentary on Michael Jackson.
Who knew?
The Neverland Show. Who knew? Listen, allegations out of the blue.
What we're saying is, you get this podcast for free, people. It's time you start paying something.
Yeah.
If you want.
And we're giving you more free episodes. That's another promo.
There you go. Guys, if you haven't already noticed, on our Twitter and Instagram, we've announced that because we have been slow to put out episodes for a plethora of reasons, we've decided to up our production. We are now going to be releasing 3 episodes a week. So going forward, you will most likely be getting, I still hedge, most likely, an episode still to be named on Tuesday and Wednesday. These are episodes that is just the 3 of us hanging out, the hosts, along with our engineer, Erica, Engineer Erica?
Yeah,
we don't have a name for her.
We've been calling them brunch or free dumb. And someone came through with, I thought, a pretty good idea. I thought I'd run it by you. I think Mike has seen, but maybe you haven't. Freedom brunch.
Freedom brunch.
Yeah.
Let's just combine every word. And that
what, is that no good?
Well, I thought it was fine. I thought it was going to be a little more profound than just putting together the 2 ideas.
Well, it was Aaron Roberts' idea.
Shout out to Aaron.
Yeah. Listen, I haven't come up
Max
with anything.
Max is making fun of you, Aaron.
I like Aaron. I know Aaron. I remember.
So hopefully you guys are enjoying more of the content. We're going to keep doing them. And who knows, maybe one day we'll up it to a podcast a day. I don't know. That's the dream, right, guys? One day.
Yeah.
So hopefully
dream,
you're enjoying.
nightmare, whatever.
So hopefully you a catalyst to a divorce. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all of those things because we're going to keep putting them out. One note that I wanted to say before we moved on is that a lot of people reached out with incredibly heartfelt and moving messages about my dad passing away in the episode that we did remembering Roy Veerman for my dad with my brother who came on and talked with Shane and Max and myself. I read every one of those messages and honestly, like people who had lost a parent themselves and related to what we went through, or just if you sort of empathized with what we were going through and how we decided to sort of remember my dad and celebrate that, it meant so much. It was really sweet. I don't know if you guys must have seen all those messages that we got on Twitter and DMs on Instagram and thank you guys so much because it really it was comforting to read all that stuff for me. So I just wanted to give that shout out. So thank you guys all, and thinking about you if you did lose a parent because I know the pain. So, guys, this is our first episode back in quite a while, obviously, because we had quite a long stretch. Max, you've been on the road a really long time. I mean, I guess we've recorded Freedom Brunches or whatever they're going to be called. So we've been around each other, but I feel like we really have compartmentalized the difference between this, which is a conventional, traditional Mike on Much podcast, and then what those things are.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about your tour.
Oh, I guess we haven't, eh?
No.
I don't even know if I'm that interested in talking about the tour. I mean, if you guys have questions, I can.
Well, we
get
had a
into
good
it.
one. We were kind of drinking, doing shots in Ashley's office.
Oh yeah.
That we kind of talked
That
about.
was sort of. in
Oh,
the
that was like
middle-
mid-tour.
middle of the
Yeah.
Canadian run.
Right
Yeah,
before
now
you
it's
went back
done, and you won Canada's Best Band Award at the Junos.
Yeah, group of the year.
Did you know you were going to win that award? Because
No.
no offense to 3 Days Grace, but I didn't even know there was still a band.
I mean, but there's other great bands. I mean, Theaters Grace is a good band too. But I'm saying there was a lot of good bands in there.
Yeah,
So, no,
but you must have
never
had an
do.
inkling, like, oh
No,
my goodness.
I think there's like always a part of me that goes, oh yeah, we'll probably win because I'm like optimistic. But then I'm also like, no, well, there's the 20% chance here, so probably not. I don't know.
That's a healthy way to approach it. I thought it was really funny. I saw on our social medias, because there's a bunch of us have access between Shane, Max, myself, Webby D, to our social medias. When you won your Junos, somebody did like this animated thing, because in our bio for the podcast, it's like produced by a 4-time Juno-winning Arkells frontman Max Kerman, but somebody had like an animated like deleting the 4-time and put it to 6-time because you won 6
Crothers
Junos,
did that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Webby D.
Yeah.
Okay, at first I thought it was you, and I was like, wow, someone took the time to actually like animate, but it was really funny, and people responded, so shout out to Webby D.
Yeah, Crothers is amazing on the internet. Webby D, I should say, about like recognizing these funny little moments. Like he'd be a great like Wikipedia moderator
Yeah.
or something. Like on Twitter, he's always like catching, like for instance, when manager Ash is on the road, we have a lot of Insta stories, and he can always tell when she's not on the road because there's just no Insta stories anymore. and then she was back on the road with us on the West Coast, and he took a screenshot of the little dots of the Instagram story and be like, manager Ash is back on the road.
Well, it's so funny, like what you're talking about. Like social media engagement is really a whole other full-time gig, and sometimes I struggle with this because I'm not somebody that actually like. I don't actively participate in social media in a way that like would be, I guess, what others would view as advantageous for like our career as podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I have my job and I do this podcast with you guys, which is fun to talk and fuck around on here. But then there's this whole other aspect that I think Arkells do extremely well, and like Shane is obviously very involved in with this family tree as well as our podcast. And so like I feel kind of like I find that I have a sense of guilt where I'm like, oh, am I not being as ambitious as I should be? But then I'm also like, it's not why I'm.
But yeah,
I'm
it's not
here.
your medium per se. You know what I mean? Like, and there's some people that are really good at social media, and you enjoy the content, and you want them to be posting more and more. Mm-hmm. But there's other kinds of entertainers or writers or thinkers that you want to consume in a long form kind of way that's like a little more slow and a little more methodical.
Yeah.
And it's not to say one's better than the other, but there's not that many people that are like necessarily great at both.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the worst personally at social media. I'm good at giving advice to other people who, like Alex is way more suited to be a Instagram person than me. Like all I do is post pictures of my daughter. I don't think I've ever appeared on my own social media in a month. Like it's just pictures of Lucy, and I use it as an archive because I can keep it forever now. Because when you story,
That's great.
It stays in there.
That's the best thing about those Instagram things. And sometimes I'll post like a story about my kid, like you said, and then I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I did it as like a post because I would not go. I didn't even know that those stories archived or whatever, so you can go back and
Yeah.
read them. Whereas like the post, I'll go back and go like, oh, that was awesome on that February day.
That's how I thought when you did your thing for Roy. I was like, thank God that exists, because I thought that's how you went back and saved all those videos.
No, every time I post an Insta video, I save it into my camera roll.
You don't need to do that anymore.
Because it's in there.
It does it automatically for you. It's in an archive, and you can save it from there.
What happens?
So if you go through it, and
Mike
you'll
doesn't trust the technology yet.
No, in the event of a war, when Instagram goes down, my phone will have the hard copy.
yeah,
of my
you'll never
videos.
lose a phone.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Junos, baby.
Junos,
you
yeah.
want more Junos?
But the weekend was good. It was pretty eventful for us because the Saturday night was the dinner, and we were playing on the Sunday night, and we were up for award on either nights, and so we knew we'd be kind of busy. It was kind of interesting though. The thing that ended up being the biggest story, probably one of the biggest like news story of like the band's career, was this thing that happened at the gala dinner during
With
our speech.
Jamiroquai?
No, Jeremy Dutcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course, because he's wearing that hat. Yeah.
I thought you just got his name confused.
That was a huge news story. Everybody's talking about that.
Yeah, it was
I looked it up and actually watched it online.
Yeah, and so for our listener, you probably know what happened, but Jeremy Dutcher, who's an Indigenous artist, his speech, he won Indigenous Record of the Year. His speech got cut off.
Like they played him off?
They played him off, and they were playing everybody off. And they made a point at the beginning of the night saying it's 60 seconds only. And so it was definitely short-sighted of the producer who's in the truck just to hit the music at when the 60-second hits, because given the current climate and the history of oppression, you probably just let an Indigenous person have the platform to speak. And also, he's an incredible speaker, like an amazing performer, really smart and profound and positive, and but also can really hold a room. So our award, though, so that happened, and then those award dinners typically go on for way too long, and our award was the last one of the night. So the thing's happening, and we're kind of getting a little bit more buzz. There's like wine at the table, and we're just kind of like, okay, we got everybody has to sit through this thing. And there's been a lot of good speeches at this dinner. And are
you getting nervous at all? Like,
no, well, I start to think, I'm like, okay, if we win, what do we say? And I said to Ash, I was like, what is there to say? No one wants to hear us speak. Everyone wants to get the hell out of there. Especially like, oh, Arkells, those guys again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it had been like Justin Bieber, everybody would have shut up. But I don't think anybody was like that keen to listen to us speak. And so when the Jeremy Dutcher thing happened, Ash actually suggested, why don't you just let him finish? I was like,
genius.
I was like, that's such a good idea. And honestly, I didn't have anything to say. Like, I honestly wasn't. If I had thought of something profound that I could say in the moment, I would have been like, okay, maybe. But I was like, I just don't have anything interesting to say. And this guy has got a lot of interesting stuff to say.
So you get to have the big moment of the night,
but not doing anything.
And not do anything. It's amazing. Yeah. I thought it was so smart from a marketing perspective.
Sure, but it wasn't meant to be a marketing. It was really just like...
Well, it's a beautiful moment from a human perspective as well.
That too.
In the moment, though, so Ash suggested to you, do you have to clear with the other four guys, or do they just defer to you in that situation?
So what happened was, this was probably like 45 minutes before our award was even up. I had a little bit of time. But keep in mind, this room is massive. So I go, where do you think he's even sitting? Maybe I should say hi or something, just to give him a little heads up in the event that we win. Look around, like there's no way you can find anybody in this room. I go to the bathroom and I run into him immediately in the hallway, and he's getting congratulated by literally every single person. I go, hey, amazing, congratulations, your speech was awesome.
Had you guys interacted before?
No, never interacted.
First time.
Yeah, and he didn't know me from a hole in the wall. He's like, oh, thanks, cool. But again, I was one of probably a dozen people that had congratulated with him in the last 5 minutes. So then, but then I say, hey, what table number are you at? Oh, I want to come over and say hi after. And he said, oh, I'm at 72. He's a very friendly guy. Like, he wouldn't have like been suspicious or anything of why I was asking that. And so our award is up. His table is kind of just across the aisle from ours, not far. It's not like all the way on the other side of the room. Because if it had been at the far end of the room, that I would have had to. It would have been impossible because
very long time for him to get there.
He wouldn't have known that this was happening, and also I would have had to run literally 100 meters to the other side of the room to get him. So, as the award's happening, or the nominees are being called, I just have my eyes on him. I'm like, okay, if I hear my name, I'm just going to beeline right to him.
Before you go to the stage?
Before we go to the stage.
I haven't seen the video. Shane's seen the video. Okay, so
it wouldn't be in the studio. So, in the video. And so they call our name. I give like Ash a hug and maybe one other person, but I just go right to him because again, I would have assumed he'd left because he had already won his award. The night's already been going on for 2.5 hours. He's got places to go. But I just grab him like, hey, we just won. Do you want to come up with us and finish your speech? And he was like, okay. And he was just so cool about it. And we walked up all together. The other guys were still hugging the rest of the table.
The band.
Your
band.
Was.
Yeah.
And so they had a minute to, that kind of helped the time difference.
But did they know you were going to do that?
No, they had no idea.
So the other four dudes in your group did not know you were doing this?
No, they had no idea.
You and Ash cooked this up and you just spring it on them?
Yeah, they had no clue.
Did anyone have a temper tantrum?
Yeah. Tim's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. He's up on this. No. And typically I do most of the talking anyway up there, so it didn't really make a difference to them. They're actually probably refreshed to have not me talking up there.
That's more interesting to them.
Yeah, they're like, oh God, I don't have to listen to Max talk somewhere.
Yeah.
The next day, though, did it make headlines?
Yeah, it was literally the talk. We've never had more people like come up to us and
In the room, what was it like once people realized what you had done?
So I just said, hey, quick thanks to Ash and Jack and Chris. And anyway, but Jeremy didn't finish his speech, so we want Jeremy to close out the night. And then this guy is incredible. He makes a joke. I don't know if have you seen the speech?
I haven't. No.
Okay. He makes a joke. He's like, he goes, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. First of all, I'd like to tell my manager that I'm now joining the Arkels. They have a much better rider. I'm now the... he looks over, I guess, sixth member of the Arkels. Like, he doesn't know how many of them are. He's very funny, right? Like, right off the bat, he's making jokes. He's got great comedic timing. And then he goes, reconciliation. And then he says it in French. He's from New Brunswick, so he speaks like 5 different languages, I think. And he just brings the room to a complete silence. So he opens with a joke, and then you can hear a pin drop. And he has this beautiful, like, literally like 60-second speech. And it's very positive in that it's like, this doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take time, but we have to keep striving for reconciliation, true reconciliation. And he thanked us for giving us. This is what holding space looks like. Anyway, yeah, and we exchanged numbers afterward. We saw him. He was performing on the show the next night, so and he's going to be around Toronto. So yeah, just a lovely dude. And the one funny thing about it is, we're getting so much credit for it in a weird way that feels kind of weird, because really it didn't really feel any different than just sort of holding the door for somebody. But I guess people, really touched by it. So it was a really nice thing to be
I think it is a rare thing, and I think that you did, it was your moment. And for a lot of people, the culmination of a year's work or an album cycle, those are the moments that it's like, this is what it's for. And so to give up your spot, I think, is kind of foreign to people.
But we were talking about this when the Oscar hubbub was about the cinematographer.
Yeah.
And I was saying, just from a very cynical marketing approach, you actually get more of a moment when you do something like that. So like in a very altruistic way, you passed up your moment on stage, sure, but you actually end up in the long run getting more attention. Sure. I'm not saying that's obviously not your plan.
But I think I've always, even though it's going to be funny to hear this, because I'm a front person who likes to be at the center of attention all the time.
You don't dislike attention.
Yeah, I don't dislike attention. But I've always recognized that I don't actually have that much talent, and I'm actually like giving, so-and-so can do a saxophone solo, or I'm hanging out with you guys. You guys are smarter and funnier than me. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm very good at surrounding myself with talented people and knowing sort of when I can do something useful, and then when somebody else can do something useful in the moment.
But kindness kind of begets kindness, and giving begets giving, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people will hold on to the stuff they have.
Sure.
That outlook, I think, is more
But they end
rare.
up losing people like that.
Absolutely, they do.
So selfishly, it's good to give.
Yeah,
and that's an odd way.
That's like a life lesson, but I think it's hard. It's a hard lesson for a lot of people to come around to.
Yeah. So the Juno weekend was really fun. The tour was long, but very good, and everybody in the band, I think, felt really positive about it for the most part. But a couple things happened in L.A.
I think I saw on social media you saw our friend Unzi.
This is right.
Oh, no, wait, did you text us or something?
Yeah, you did, very late at night.
Yeah, it was like L.A. time.
Yeah.
It's like, we got kids, Max.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So basically, we had a day off in L.A. Before our show, and I went for breakfast with manager Ash, who's at this little nondescript breakfast place. Noah Wiley from ER. He's there. So it was like classic LA sighting. He was there with another guy who I think was an actor too. And if he had been there by himself, I would have asked for the photo, I think. But because I didn't want to insult the other guy who might have also been a famous person, I just resisted it.
Is Noah looking youthful?
He looks good. He looks even leaner than he was before.
Were you a big ER fan?
No, I wasn't, but I figured like somebody on the internet might appreciate it.
Full head of hair still.
Yeah, good head of hair. So I've been trying to like exercise on tour, and I like it because it actually is good for my brain. Like my creative brain, like I get some ideas when I'm like jogging or whatever. Mm-hmm. And one of my ideas was after I watched the Grammys. It was after I watched Janelle Monáe's performance. I was like, I need to learn how to dance like Janelle Monáe. And I have this thought about once a year. And then, because she has this very cool way of dancing, and actually kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson a little bit. Like she has like some similar moves. I'm
just picturing you dancing like Michael Jackson.
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
So then I text Dan and your brother Greg. I was like, guys, I want to dance like Michael Jackson. But this was like the day Finding Neverland or whatever came out. And they're like, Max, not a good time. I was like, oh yeah, okay, wrong reference. Next time I'll just say Janelle Monáe. So but anyway, they kind of dismiss it, and like the way you reacted when I said I wanted to be a cool dancer, everyone just kind of rolls their eyes and can't picture it at all. So
it'd be very funny though.
Well,
I don't think he's going for comedy.
I'm not going for comedy. I'm going for some moves because I think people like the way I move on stage.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I think I have a signature style.
You do
Which
a lot
Nick
of arms.
Dyka nails,
Which he
pretty
does.
well, yeah.
But here's the thing. If I could drop some like real moves in the middle of my goofy dance moves and people go, what did he just do there? You know what I mean? If there was a moment in the show that I could really execute a few good moves with it, that...
Oh, 2 words. Body double.
Well, I'm going to try to beat that. Okay, so we...
Somebody comes out in the leather coat with the tassels and a curly wig and literally fucking moonwalks, spins and does the
Black guy
splits.
though.
Yeah.
Like,
that'd actually be a funny idea. So anyway, we run into Joe D, our friend from Hamilton, who
Yes.
happens to be in town.
Director.
A director
Of 1111.
1111 video.
Which had
and-
dancing.
And Hey Kids, yeah, that's right.
which had Aquafina girl in it.
How dare you?
Fiji girl.
Dasani.
Who did Kenneth Cuthbert, who did come to the LA show. She was there that
You
night.
met her in person?
Yeah, well, I've met her in person before.
I know, but now she's famous. Did you get a photo with her?
No, I didn't. She was there in the crowd. I could see her. I didn't get a chance to. She's very nice and normal.
Was she like, let's hang after the show?
No. But she came to the show, which was very nice.
Did she have some what's the water?
Fiji. No,
Yeah.
she's in a lawsuit with them, I think, right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we don't bring that up. But anyway, so Joe D, we run into Joe D on the street on Santa Monica, and Ash and I were like, let's get a drink. It's before the show. And Joe D's one of the only people outside of our friend group that if I were to run in the street, I wouldn't make an excuse for why I couldn't hang out with him in that moment.
Yeah.
But Joe D's so delightful. I'm like, Joe D, come with us. He's like, okay, let's do it. So we ended up going to the Sunset Marquee, which is a famous hotel that has a cool bar where a lot of famous people are known to hang out. It was kind of around the corner. First person we see is Lisa Marie Presley.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, just-
former Michael Jackson wife.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Nick Cage, former wife.
Yeah, so she's there. And so we were kind of ogling at her. But anyway, I got on.
How's she look?
Amazing, actually. She's like 73. Oh,
wait,
hold on. Are we
wait.
thinking about Lisa Marie?
You're thinking about the mom.
What's the mom's name?
So her name is, she's in
Priscilla.
Naked Gun, Priscilla Presley.
You saw Priscilla.
I saw Priscilla.
Oh,
Priscilla looks
okay.
She was
amazing.
not married to Michael Jackson or Nicolas Cage.
She was married to Elvis, I guess.
You got it right, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, but she's looking great too.
Her daughter's Lisa Marie.
We're on our game today, guys.
So we get talking, and I bring up this dance thing again because I need some encouragement here. And
To Lisa Marie. Or,
Not-
sorry,
no, not to Priscilla.
Oh.
Priscilla, I want to. Can I just bend your ear for a
you're in
second?
showbiz. Your husband used to dance a little bit.
Michael
greatest
Jackson
hits.
was your son-in-law?
Okay, so you're looking for some positive
Yeah,
reinforcement.
and
How-
Joe's a very positive guy.
He is.
And Joe just goes, you know who your reference point is? Sam Rockwell. And I was like, I don't know anything about this.
Charlie's Angels.
Do you know about Sam Rockwell's dancing?
In Charlie's Angels.
Well, he does it, but he also, every time he's on a late night show, he does these crazy moves when he comes on the stage. Have you never seen this before?
No.
Yeah, he did a whole dance in a video for a current indie rock band like a couple of years ago. I forget what they're called, but he's an amazing dancer.
That's a good reference point.
It's a good reference point.
You feel like that's emulatable.
Yeah, and so I texted it to Dan and Greg, who originally shot me down. I was like, "What about Sam Rockwell?" And they said, "I love it." So I Googled how to dance like Sam Rockwell. There's obviously someone on Reddit already asked that question, and there's some YouTube videos. So that's what I'm going to do with my time at home. So I told Lauren, I said, Lauren, there's 2 things I want to do. I'm home for a couple months, in terms of just sort of getting better at my job, and just getting better at stuff. I was like, the first thing is I want to dance like Sam Rockwell. And she's like, the second thing, she's like, can you learn how to cook? She's just like, cut me off because I don't know how to cook. And I said, no. And the second thing, I want to learn how to do gospel piano. So I'm just announcing this on the pod now because I think it's good.
Well, if you say it, you almost have to do it.
You got to do
You
it.
put it out in the world.
Yeah, because hopefully I'll be good enough by our June 22nd show in Toronto that I could pull out some cool moves.
Oh, that was a very smooth promo.
Yeah.
Would you put pressure
sold out on
on
the
the
promo.
rest
Is it
of
sold out?
Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Would you put pressure on the rest of the band to dance also, or you just want a spotlight on
Like
you?
they're the Arkells 5.
Yo, I mean, I think it starts with me, but maybe they'll be inspired. We did have a goofy little dance in our song Saturday Night, which
Weren't you just walking in one direction in unison?
kind of.
Yeah.
But it's sort of a dance.
That's the Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, it was choreographed. Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I did the last couple of months.
I think that's.
I got together some dance moves to work on.
So people can look out for your Sam Rockwell-esque dance moves, and for you to maybe get down on the keys and do some gospel piano.
Yeah. Randy Newman style.
Ah, there you go. Guys, should we get to Natalie Prass?
Let's get to it.
Today on the show, we have Natalie Prass. I liked this interview. I feel like we got into a good pocket. We talked about a lot of stuff. We brought up S Club 7, who she had never heard of.
Yeah, crazy. That was the craziest part of the interview. Seriously.
How old is she?
My age.
That's weird.
Yeah. And then I guess she ended up texting you from like the band vehicle saying, I was talking to the guys in the band and they couldn't believe that I hadn't heard.
Yeah, they were shocked that I had never heard of them.
One last time, she is at the Horseshoe April 14th. So this week, by the time you'll be listening to this podcast, go check her out. Again, maybe we'll be there checking out the show. Had a great time talking with her. Check out her show on Crave. Check out our new twice a week more bantery podcast without a guest. It currently does not have a name. Maybe it will never have a name. Either way, thank you for checking us out. If you're just tuning in because you like Natalie Prass, we have over 100 episodes of our podcast. Mike on Much. Check us out on iTunes. Leave a comment. Do all that business. We are now going to get to Natalie Prass.
Let's do it.
Well, yeah, no, it's colder than Nashville, that's for sure.
Yeah. Are you in Nashville?
Now I am.
Oh, okay.
I lived there. I moved there in 2006, lived there till 2015, moved to Richmond, Virginia, where I'm from, basically, and then back to Nashville in September.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nice.
But I went on tour, and I haven't been... All my stuff was just sitting in boxes in the house, and then I got back late December, and now I'm on tour again.
Are you into those electric scooters? We're in Nashville. I'm in a band too, and we're on tour. And Nashville's got them now.
They're terrifying. Well, because nobody wears helmets, and like nobody watches where they're going, and everybody's drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be some rules going. You know, Nashville needs to have some crosswalks. It's terrible. Like,
it's kind of a drive. Even though there's cool neighborhoods, it's a real driver-friendly city.
Yeah, it's awful.
Safety first.
I took one of those scooters across one of the bridges in Nashville because we had a friend playing at the Ryman that night. And
nice.
So I was like, but it was, in retrospect, it was like 9 p.m. and dark, and those highways are kind of like more, the bridges are kind of like highways, and the sidewalks aren't really.
Were you on Korean veterans or were you on the pedestrian bridge?
The Korean veterans one.
So there were cars.
There are a lot of cars.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, and I was also in a rush too because our friend was opening at the Ryman, and then I had to get back to our set, which was later. And I had like a 14-minute window. It was very stupid. Yeah. And it was one of those things I look back, I'm like, oh, that was dumb.
But you're here now.
I'm glad you made it out alive.
You were saying your stuff is all in boxes. Are you somebody who feels more comfortable on the road than you do at home?
I move a lot. I realized after this move, that's my 11th time moving since 2009.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've moved a ton. Wow. And I don't know if that's because like I'm somebody that just always has to keep moving and doing something. I'm kind of a restless person, I guess.
Right. Well, what feels like home to you then?
I guess Virginia. Yeah? Deep down, yeah. I think I'll end up in Virginia for sure when I'm old. Yeah. I love
it's
it
all
there.
said and done. And
Yeah. I'm ready to die now. I think I'll settle down.
Take me back to old Virginia. On a rocking chair.
Virginia.
Yeah. What's that band song? Fuck. It's just, I think it's about like sitting on the front porch in old Virginia or something like that.
The band?
Yeah, the band. Yeah. There's, I don't know.
That. Lots of good songs about Virginia.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
You guys need to check out. Do you know Drum? Does real ass music.
Oh, is he a singer? Like
he's kind of like R&B.
Oh, I think he did a song with Chromeo.
Yeah,
I must have been high when I met you. That's
you got
cool.
it.
Is he from there?
He's from Virginia Beach, where I grew up. And he does a old famous, like one of our national, like state songs, "Sweet Virginia Breeze" on his record.
Oh, cool.
Well, speaking of covers, you did "I Will Survive" with Casey the other night.
Yeah, last night and the night before.
Is this going to be a thing?
I guess so. Yeah, it was
rolling
so
it out
nice.
tonight, maybe.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it tonight. As far as I know, maybe not.
Hey,
who knows?
Keep it loose.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that she wanted to do a song with me, like during her set. Like, okay, thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, she texted me right before the tour started. I drove my giant van that I just bought. I'm very excited, by myself from Nashville to Richmond. So it's like 10 hours. And I got a text from her, which was really sweet. She was like, I'm so excited to have you on the road. You're such a badass. I love your songs. Thank you for doing this tour. And let's think of a cool cover to do together. And I was like, oh, sweet. So I immediately wrote, how about "I Will Survive"? And then she was like, "That's perfect." But then we went like back and forth, like just on some other ideas. But that one won.
What were the other
Yeah.
ideas?
Oh, really?
Great question.
Well,
Because this is something we're
there were some gems in there. I was like, let's just throw everything out. They might be terrible ideas, but maybe we'll get somewhere with like our terrible ideas, right? And she threw out, not to throw her under the bus, because it was like, oh, respect. But she was like, how about a reggae funk On the Road Again by Willie Nelson? And I was like, oh, I just said all caps, far out. and then it was we moved on
Keep
from
moving.
there.
That's a great response.
it is
Whenever
because
you-
it's non-committal. But it could be positive. It is
You know,
what it is.
Mike, your favorite one is remarkable. That's remarkable. It's like
remarkable.
not necessarily positive
Or
you know,
negative.
or
Yeah.
negative. It's just like it's remarkable.
Just blew my mind a little bit with that.
Remarkable.
It deserves a remark. I don't know if that's a good or bad remark, but it does deserve one.
But I love that she went there, like, you know, like
Totally.
yeah. And then I threw out like Holiday, Madonna, and
Oh yeah,
you
that's a
know,
fun one.
She's a Maniac. That'd be pretty fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you sound check it before the show?
We did, and like we do a lot of like trading verses and
Sure.
and stuff. So we were like trying to figure out where it made the most sense, and like how when we're on stage we'll remember it.
Yeah.
You know. So it took us a minute, and I didn't think we would do it the first night, and then like right before they went on stage, they were like, "Do you want to do it tonight? Let's just do it." And I was like, "Great, let's do it." And I used to sing that song in middle school, so I know
Okay.
it very well.
Nice.
Like used to sing it at like high schools in this like music review thing. Anyway,
Like as part of a show?
as
or
part of a show, it's called Rhythms of Life.
Okay.
And that was my section. I was 12 years old and I did I Will Survive and Hot Stuff by Donna Summer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good.
Man, you got the disco section there.
I did, yeah. I've always been into disco. And so yeah, I was like, let's just go for it, and it went really well. Like, yeah, she killed it.
Yeah, those songs
So-
that you know from childhood, it really do. It's like your
Yes.
friend's phone number from childhood or something.
Yes.
You're
You don't forget those.
921-7631, Tim and David's phone number. Like,
yeah,
you know, like
right.
But
Just
but sometimes
ingrained.
there's songs that you think you know really well, and then it turns out when you're doing homework to perform it, you're like, oh, actually, I don't know this.
I don't know
at
this
all-
verse.
at
I just know
all.
the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this? Mm-hmm.
Did you have all the words right there for I Will Survive?
She did. Yeah, she was like, I have words here for you. I was like, girl, I know it.
There we go.
Girl, I'm good. And but like last night, she kind of forgot the words during her section. I was like, do I jump in and like? But she got it. It was amazing. She's such a pro. She like rewrote the lyrics like that, but like didn't stop singing,
Yeah.
but said what like was the general idea of what that lyric was. I was like, that's amazing. She's a genius.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You mentioned Virginia, how that would be the place that you think of as home where you'd want to die. What was it like growing up there?
Virginia Beach, well, it's a beach town. Lots of surfing. I used to skateboard to my ice cream scooping job on a fishing pier.
It's like a movie.
Did you?
Yeah, Greg's ice cream up the street.
Nice. So yeah, I was. There's not like a lot of. It's a Navy town, so there's a lot of transplants. Lots of people coming and going. A lot of friends would come and leave. You know.
Is it like a summer town, like a vacation spot for people to come in and stay? Okay,
Big
so
time.
the summer
It's a
would
tourist town for
that's
sure.
its big business time.
Yeah. But surprisingly, like so there's not a lot of like culture there besides the beach. And so like my bands growing up, I would play at CC's Pizza. And do you guys know what CC's Pizza
No.
is? Oh, it's the shitty. Can I say that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Okay. It's the shittiest pizza place. It's a $5 gets you a buffet of however much pizza you want to eat. And so our bands would play there. But like surprisingly, a lot of amazing musicians have come from Virginia Beach, like Pharrell and Timbaland and Missy Elliott, Drum.
What do you think it is about that, though? I mean, people always ask that, like, "Oh, why does this city produce all this or that?"
Teddy
what
Riley.
would you say?
I think maybe just being, well, the water kind of creates some kind of weird calming culture or something. And then because there was no like arts culture, really, we had to kind of create it ourselves and just go all in, you know. Every Saturday, I'd always rehearse with my band all day, like in middle school through high school, you know, and just creating our DIY culture, and just like taking. If we wanted to do it, we really wanted to do it because you had to do it.
Is there a big?
There's nowhere to go.
That's interesting.
A big skate scene there because
Big
Pharrell skates too,
big
right?
time.
Interesting.
Do you still skate?
No, not anymore. I don't want to break anything, and yeah, I don't know. I'm 32. I'm just like, I'm good.
Not going to pull out the longboard.
Yeah, but when I was
go
in
for a
high
bike.
school and like early college, yeah, it was all about it.
What was like? I guess like you said that like there wasn't. If you were really into sort of the arts or culture or music or whatever, you really were into it because maybe that's not what everybody was doing.
Exactly.
In your like home growing up, was music super prevalent, or is it something that you had to sort of like go outside of the home to find?
My parents have really good taste in music. My dad was always playing Motown.
Yeah.
And then my mom likes Natalie Cole and Barbara Streisand and stuff.
Okay.
So I feel like I got this nice, well-rounded melodic sense from both of my parents. Just the music in our house played a lot of and I have an older sister who has really great taste in music, so she like got me into the Jacksons and just a lot of Joni Mitchell and stuff. And and my dad would play guitar, and my dad definitely has a musical ear, but didn't play music ever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's he do? What's your dad do?
He was a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like the guitar playing doctor.
The guitar playing doctor. But yeah, he was very busy, so he was gone a lot. And so then when he would come home, sometimes he would play acoustic guitar, and I was so fascinated. And so in first grade, I just have this memory burned in my head, but he was playing guitar, and I was like, "Oh, Dad, what song is that?" He's like, "I'm just making it up." I was like, "Cool." So I was like, "I'm going to make up songs now." So that's how I started writing songs. Because I was like, that's what people do. You write songs.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny, my dad, we're the same age, and my dad went to school in Detroit, and he played a lot of Motown around the house too.
Oh, of course.
And when I heard, and he was a college DJ at the radio station, and he had those same Temptations records and Supreme. And that's what I listened to a lot growing up. And when I heard your record, I was like, oh, there's a quality to that music. And then when I did a little bit of research with Space Bomb Studio.
Yeah.
So was that, did you have like, the Motown model in mind when you were working on your first record? With,
oh, yeah,
like,
definitely.
Musicians? And actually for our listeners, can you explain exactly how that works?
Yeah.
The Space Bomb Studio?
Yeah, so Space Bomb is this concept started by my friend from Virginia Beach, Matthew E. White, and he has a house band. And so what they're trying to do is like bringing in these songwriters. The songwriter shows their music to this house band, and then you just build your music with this band. Yeah, and then they have an arranger on strings, and then Matt does horns, and you can kind of use that if you want, or you don't have to, or yeah.
That's cool.
Which
I
is
love
like
that
this big community, like all working together and building the music together.
That's fascinating. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess mechanically, is it like, so normally you go, oh, I'm going to book studio time, and you go in with your band. But if you're going to go in and use the house band, and they're going to sort of help build and craft the songs together, is that like, that must be a completely different rate? That must be insane to like go in and pay that, or is it like really collaborative?
Well, it is.
Walk us through the budget.
Okay. Yeah. You want to talk numbers here? You're like,
Maybe I'll use them.
You start doing that. Yeah.
Well,
Mike's
I mean-
sending emails. I'm going to Virginia.
I mean, it is crazy because like I recorded that record with them. Or I started talking to them in 2010, right? And we started recording the record, that first one, in 2011. And so when I was living in Nashville, and I was saying like I was trying to find a producer. Actually, one of the producers that I was talking to very seriously was one of the producers on Casey's new record,
cool.
Oh.
Ian Fitchuk. He's like old friend of mine. And but he was just way too expensive for me at the time. Like now it's like, oh wow, that's very reasonable. He was like, it's gonna be $9,000. And I was like, excuse me?
For the whole record?
Yeah, for the whole record. I was like, excuse me? No. Moving, I was
Spit
like,
take.
I was
It
like,
is
I have like
crazy.
$500.
Yeah.
Maybe. So but everybody was like, no, we can't do a record. That's way too ambitious. And at that time, like Grimes was super popular, or like things that were like, you just get in the studio by yourself or with one other person, you build the tracks by yourself, which is like amazing. But I was not really interested in making a record like that. Got reconnected with Matthew White, and yeah, it was like basically we were just coming from the same place. It was pretty incredible. I don't even remember the original question you asked me.
I was just more interested in the mechanics.
Oh,
of
the mechanics.
How much does it cost?
I'm sorry. That's right. How much?
brass tacks. Let's get that to it.
Well, the first record they did it on spec.
Yeah.
You know, and
Worked out well for everybody.
it did. Yeah. Well, that was pretty nice.
Totally.
I think that they got paid back. You know, the record got bought out by Columbia, so licensed, so they're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I come in with my songs. I listen to the songs with Matt. The first one. This is the first, process of the first record. The second one's a little different, and picked out the songs we wanted to do. I talked about like what I was looking for. He talked about what he was looking for, and then when it was time to record with the band, we'd all listen to it together and then talk about it with our charts, and then just go in and start playing.
Yeah.
And then just taking it from there and whittling it down. So yeah.
And what was different about this record? Like what about that approach did you like? And then maybe you were like, I want to take that to the next one. And what were you like, I need to do something different?
This one I was way more involved with what how I wanted things to go production wise, like what instruments people were playing, what keyboards, drum, everything, like the feel. Like I was running into the live room a lot more than I did in the last one, because I never recorded with a band before on that first one, so I was still learning. So I would just like run in there and be like, no, it needs to be more like this, and I would like start dancing and be like, you know what I'm saying? You got it? And then,
interpret this dance. And then yeah, exactly.
That's honestly my move. I don't know how to like articulate anything
Speak that
like
language?
musically,
Yeah.
actually. So I'm in the studio. It's like I want it to kind of go like, can you do that on the violin? And they're like, and they're like, yeah, I think I know. And then they do it. I'm like, that's exactly what I meant.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Talking about music is so stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
It's and frustrating and amazing, and yeah.
But you're right. There is an energy, I think,
Yes.
that you're looking to have captured.
Yes.
That you can articulate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically when we were recording horns on our record, like the only note I ever have is I go in the studio is like, can you be a little drunker when you play? Like
More
3
sloppy.
a.m.
Yeah.
on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, like that kind of spirit. They're like, okay, so he wants us to play some wrong notes. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Yes, that's it. That's the idea.
You actually like pour beer down their horns.
Oh,
like.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of the
That'd
vibe.
be all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny talking about sort of like the last record to this record, and just sort of the natural evolution of you as an artist and as a person.
Yeah.
Kind of running your own show. You know what I mean? That's the other thing about being like an artist that basically gets to make your own decisions. Have you found any difference between like your 20s and your 30s as far as decision making as you've grown?
Oh, most definitely. I feel like I've definitely gotten more comfortable in my own skin, and like comfortable about the music that I like. I don't feel as, I'm not feeling embarrassed. I used to feel a little embarrassed that I liked soft rock so much, and
That's interesting.
It's coming back around though. I think
it is coming
in a
back
nice way.
finally.
It's such a funny thing, the shame of maybe liking something that someone doesn't deem cool.
Yeah.
That is a youthful thing to have. Like,
Yes.
oh, I really like S Club 7 and I don't want people to know. But it's like, fuck, I like S Club 7.
Yes. So that's a huge difference for me.
Were you just judging me for liking S Club 7?
A little bit,
That's
yeah.
but in my 30s, I don't give a fuck.
I'm just kidding. I don't know who is that?
What?
Is that a Canadian band?
You don't know S Club 7?
I don't think so.
Come on.
What is it? Sing me a
Stop
song.
it. They're like a big British,
Huge British, like...
from the late 90s, early 2000s. Like,
Okay.
don't stop, never give up. Da, 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 da. You don't know what I'm talking about? S Club, ain't no party like an S Club party. You don't know this? Oh my
Is this like a
goodness.
boy band? That sounds
it was
like
girls
a
and
boy
boys.
band.
It was a mix
Really?
Girls and boys.
Yeah, it was
4 girls, 3 boys.
Oh my! Ooh, more girls.
Mixed ethnicity too. They were ahead of their time.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I will check them out.
But you know what? There are some like very popular pop culture references that are right over my head too, and people are like shocked.
I
that
get
we
it.
don't know.
But like the
Yeah.
Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys era, all of that,
Okay.
they were
Yeah.
kind of a manufactured British group. Doesn't matter. Wow, we really went down a
Anyway,
weird road.
But soft rock, I'm
Soft
into
rock.
it too.
It's great. Love soft rock.
Yeah. That is one of the most liberating things about getting older, though, I will say.
yes, you just don't give any fucks
Yeah.
anymore.
And it's
Yeah.
good, and
It
that's
is
how
good.
And that's kind of, sometimes you'll meet a young person that's very like really confident and they're just like very comfortable in their skin, and you go, man, I wish I had some of that juice when I was
Yes.
20.
I think
Yeah.
that all the time. Like, wow, you must have like really awesome parents. Like,
Yeah.
not that my parents aren't awesome, but it was like very, you know what I mean? Like, like, wow, just showing you the way.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
What's your
Anyway.
favorite soft rock song of all time?
Ooh.
Or one of your favorites?
My God, that's a really hard question. Well, right now, I guess this is more Quiet Storm, but I really love TKO by Teddy Pendergrass. So that can kind of
I
go.
don't know that song.
Yeah. Think I better let it go. Doo, 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 doo. You guys know this?
It's no S Club
Looks
7.
like another love TKO.
What year is that from?
70s,
Okay.
late
Oh, that's
70s, early 80s.
You know, it's also a funny thing when you're like your favorite song by like a iconic artist is like a recent song of theirs, like not
Ooh.
so like.
Oh,
for
like
instance-
I love the latest Paul McCartney record.
yeah, it's something
I
like
was
that.
just about to say that.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard his newest single that just came out?
Which one? I probably
With all
I
the
don't-
auto tune?
no, I haven't heard that one.
You guys.
Really?
All auto tune.
Hey,
Like,
I don't know if I-
Paul's just like, hey, Kanye sings an auto tune. How would I do too?
Couldn't give it. Your Liverpool accent's just as good as mine is, and mine is terrible. We're just a couple lads from Liverpool.
Kanye does it. Yeah.
Kanye does it.
Everybody
Kanye
does a version of the Liverpool accent.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys gotta check it out. It's crazy.
Oh, definitely.
Who said the okay to that? You know,
Yeah,
who
I
was
know.
like, yeah, Paul?
People don't say no to Paul though.
Yeah.
When you're
that's
Paul,
dangerous.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
do you know this night? Sorry, not to get too off topic here, but it's like a 1994 Jackson Brown record with Barricades of Heaven. Do you know that song?
I don't know. Is
It's
it good?
the best Jackson. I mean, I love Jackson Brown, but
Do you?
There's an example of liking modern.
yeah, where I was like, oh, you should hear the 94 record. Like, nobody's ever talked
No
about the Jackson Brown, like, or 96 record.
Sure.
But Barricades of Heaven is a fucking incredible
We
tune.
just listened to Eric Clapton's 80s, 90s record Forever Man in the
Okay.
van yesterday. It's incredible.
Oh, really?
Listen to that song Forever Man.
Forever Man.
Forever Man, Forever Man. Anyway, it's groovy.
What was the Paul McCartney song that you just sent me yesterday or the other day?
Coming up.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool song too. Maybe I just like the video. Dun, 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 dun. It's basically Paul trying to do disco.
Yeah.
and it's actually and the video's kind of cool. I don't know. Paul can almost do anything. Maybe not
Almost, yeah,
Almost.
yeah, but he's been actually chasing the genres as the years go by. You
Yes,
know what I
he
mean? Like,
is.
because he wants to be the top.
He's a master, though. He's like one of those guys that can write a song which will inevitably be a hit in any genre. It's like,
True.
oh, disco, I can do that. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, that's a pretty good song.
Yeah, he just like wants like the challenge. Like, I can do what you're doing. No
My
problem.
favorite
I'm
Beatles
hip.
story is like the press was going wild for the Who. Because like they're the loudest fucking band in
Oh,
England,
right.
and he's like, "Oh, you want loud? I'll give you." And then he wrote Helter Skelter like the next day.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here you go."
That's insane.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it's very cool.
As a songwriter, do you ever give yourself challenges like that, or do you?
Oh, all the time.
I'm gonna write this type of song.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I feel like that's how I keep it interesting for myself.
Short chord style. What was the reference?
Well, I wrote that song with Kyle Ryan, who's Casey Musgraves' musical director.
Oh.
I'm actually really good friends with a lot of her band members, so this is like it's nice.
Nashville's small.
It is. It's
Yeah.
small. So Kyle and I have been writing songs together since like 2009. When I find somebody that I really like working with, like I just go for that. I got asked to write the music for a short film. Yeah. So Short Court came from that. But I was listening to a lot of Bee Gees at that
Yeah,
time.
I hear it.
Yeah. And I was getting really into the synth bass. So I was like, let's just do some kind of like upbeat, I don't know, thing like that. And then Kyle started playing those 2 chords that are in the intro. And then I started doing the synth bass line. And then it just all kind of came together. And then, but it was an instrumental track. And so when the short film came out, and I acted in it too, so it was on my socials. And then people started saying, "What is this song? I need this song." And
They were
it's like,
responding to it.
yeah, and I was like, Kyle, maybe we should turn this into an actual. Let's write some lyrics.
That's cool,
and-
actually.
yeah.
It's a cool process. What
was
about Birds
cool.
of Prey?
Bird of Prey, I wrote that.
What's the reference?
Oh, what's the reference?
I just want to know what you stole.
Well, that's
from.
an older one. Yeah, right. That's an older one. I wrote that one in my car. I went to school. I lived in Nashville, but I went to school in Murfreesboro. So I was in my car like at least an hour and a half every day. So I did a lot of like writing in my car at that time. And
What do you mean writing in your car?
well, I write the melody and I can hear the chords in my head.
Ah.
So I just kind of.
On your voice note or something?
And I just wrote the chorus and wrote the.
Can you
Yeah.
keep it in your brain and remember it without recording it?
No.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I feel like maybe I used to be able to do
Sure.
that, but that's when I didn't have a billion other things going on in my head. You
Yep.
know,
Totally.
I always have to record it. But yeah, I can't read music, but I can hear how the chords are put together, and then I can sing it all to somebody or figure it out on my own, but I don't quite know what I'm doing. But yeah, I used to beg my parents for lessons, and they were like, "No, we don't want to hurt your ear." Yeah,
Maintain your gift, your natural.
and I'm like,
gift,
"Dang, it'd be really nice now and make things like a lot easier." Like with my keyboard player, I'm like, "Can you do?" You know, and he's like, "Ah," you know. Yeah, Bird of Prey. I think I was just, I don't know what I was listening to at that time. It's been so long ago. That's kind of an old song. Yeah. But Matt, I mean, I wrote that originally to be like a very drony song and very dark. And so I had a demo of it like that. And then when I sent it to Matt, he was like, "How about we try like, you know, making it this kind of groovy, upbeat jam?" And I was like, "Let's try it."
Yeah.
But I never would have imagined it sounding like that. Now I love it.
It is a great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so soulful.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks. Thank you.
Was there anything in particular that Nashville taught you about songwriting, and then consequently anything you felt like you had to unlearn? Like, oh, that was helpful, but I need to sort of get out of my own structures.
Well, like growing up in Virginia Beach, you know, not much competition, right? You know, it's like not. But I was literally the only girl that was playing in bands and writing songs and stuff, and. So when I moved to Nashville, it was like a wake-up call for sure. And I was like, okay, I need to get really good and develop my own style. And I used to lock myself in my walk-in closet and just like practice and try to make up cool songs. But Nashville mainly just taught me that I want to do it because everybody does it in Nashville and everybody's really good. And it's very competitive and it can be very daunting, and like the business is all there. And it's just, I feel like you just get thrown into what it actually means to be a musician with your life, because you see everybody that's in different stages of their career at all times, you know, so you really just get this broad perspective. But yeah, it was like, yeah, I do want to do this. This is crazy, but I want to do it. Yeah.
It makes you good though. Like it
does. Yeah.
It takes you out of your
teaches
little
you how to
world
be-
as well. Like I feel like with, whenever I feel like we go to LA for things, and like Toronto's the biggest music market in Canada.
For sure.
But then you go down to LA and you're like, oh, whatever we think is important, it's like there's like 10 times the amount of people doing 10 times things that are just as big or much bigger. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's a big old world out there.
Yeah.
Which I find inspiring to me. Yeah. And a little daunting.
It is a little daunting. Like towards the end of my time in Nashville, I had like a little like rehearsal space in my attic and recording space. And I just basically just like went to work, and then I would just go up there. And like I didn't really like hang out. I was just like kind of like a recluse for sure, because I was just tired of going out and being like, what's up with you? What's your career? What are you doing?
Sure.
And just having to be like, oh, you know,
Because it never feels good.
No,
and
you
it's
always have to explain how great everything is going and who you working, who cut your song.
It's a front. Oh man, it's so weird. And it's like, well, I got a lunch with this person next week, and then we're going to be working on this song, or I'm doing a co-write with this person.
Oh my god!
And it's these conversations, and I don't know how much it helps the creativity of what you're trying to do.
No, it sucks everything away. Eventually, it just piece by piece. So I'd just be, getting my oregano, Kroger. You guys don't know Kroger, but
yeah, we know.
Oh, you know Kroger?
Yeah.
Okay, and just like then, like, hey Natalie, I'm like, yeah, just like, no.
Going back to my attic. Yeah.
So moving to Richmond, I mean, there's like not, there's people that play music there that are incredible, like some of the best musicians I've ever played with in my life, and my whole band's Richmonders, but nobody gives a shit. Or they don't understand what your life it really is. So you don't talk about that. And a lot of my friends aren't musicians in Richmond, so it's nice.
That is really nice.
I'm friends
most
with
of my
dancers and artists, and
that's cool.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say most of my friends aren't musicians either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very nice to not have to talk about or think about it.
Yeah,
when you're just hanging out.
Maxie, we got to wrap it up with Natalie. So, is there any more questions that you had to ask?
I had more questions.
She's like, I got to go, bro.
Yeah, she's like, I got to go sound check.
Keep it moving.
Because I was reading about you scrapped your record and then started on a new one, and you were pretty bummed out about Trump.
Oh, yeah.
As we all were. Yeah. Not to get too much in that, but I'm kind of curious to know, what is your political intake on a daily basis? Like when you wake up in the morning and you're like scrolling through Twitter, reading the paper, what's your on your to-do list?
It used to be a lot more. These days, it's just I have the NPR One podcast,
Oh, yeah.
and I listen to Up First, which
Okay.
gives you it's like a 14-minute just
Yep.
briefing of everything that happened. And then I like to put on the radio. I put on NPR when I'm like making coffee
Yeah.
as soon as I wake up and make breakfast. But I try to
On the road?
On the road, right now I haven't been getting into the news. There's too much going on. I'm in charge of too much. I'm tired.
Sure.
I don't want, unless there's something really big happening, I'm going to stay tuned, but I'm trying to stay positive because a lot of times I'm somebody, if I get stressed, I get sick. So
It's all connected.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm just
Mind,
trying.
body.
Yes. So, try not to get too deep into it when I'm on the road because
You wanna keep
I don't
it-
have a crew. it's all me and my band. Like we're doing everything.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Are you in the van or a bus?
We're in a van.
Man,
I bought a
nice.
van, and I mean I'm proud of this van. It's a Ford
You mentioned
Transit.
it off the top. I'm like,
I did.
You're really proud of
you
this
want to
van.
talk about my van? It's blue.
Does it have like
You can stand in
television
it.
screens and stuff in there?
No, nothing like that. But you can stand in it.
Oh, good. Is it a
That's what
Sprinter?
matters.
Like a Sprinter van?
It's a Ford Transit, so it's
okay.
like a poor man's Sprinter.
Nice.
Does the job.
It does.
Are you
It's great on gas.
coming back to a headline in Toronto anytime that we can? You can
I hope
hint at?
so. I hope so. I wanted to drop. My best friend is from Toronto.
Who's that?
Well, her name's Erica Prince. She lives in Brooklyn. She's an artist, but I mean, she spent like her younger years here. She's basically American. But
Oh, okay.
I've had to talk to Canadian Customs on her behalf, pretending to be her employer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I've had to do a lot of that for her, like with her visa stuff.
Oh,
Back in
yeah.
the day, because I would hire her to do like my graphic design stuff. And
Ah, cool.
yeah. But anyway,
You do
I've been
my
here a
graphic
lot.
design, I will lie about your landed immigrant status.
Yes, exactly.
That's the trade-off.
I'll get you your visa.
Exactly.
But we've been best friends since we were 14 years old.
Oh, that's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, well, you should come back and headline because we love
would love
we
to.
love the album.
Yeah,
Both,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Max
Thank
can be
you.
at the show tonight, too.
Oh yeah, what
Oh,
time?
you are?
Yeah.
Yes.
What time are you on it?
It's been like 8 o'clock. I don't know. I'd have to look
Okay.
at my calendar.
That sounds
but
about right.
I think 8. We
Awesome.
do 40-minute set.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you switching it up every night, or do you have a set list that you're stuck
Well,
with?
yesterday we started the first show we started our last song right at 40 minutes. So yesterday I was like, let's try that same set, but just like transitions, like really quickly.
Yeah.
No talking, because sometimes I like to talk.
Yeah.
I should talk about whatever, so I was like, I'm not going to do that, and it was good, but then I felt like it was a little too quick, so we might change it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the hottest ticket in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
Ooh.
people like on StubHub, it's like $1,200. I'm not kidding.
are you serious?
Yeah, people are
Danforth?
yeah, for tonight. It's crazy.
Wow.
I had to like pull some strings.
Oh my god, you could have just texted me.
Well,
Now
next
we
time.
know. Yeah.
No,
I
yeah.
have some tickets.
Honestly, I think they came out of artist holds. I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because like there was like nothing. Usually, it's not very difficult.
You flexed your muscle? You pulled some?
Yeah,
you
Elliot
used that
from
juice?
Golden Voice. Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
Well, I'm glad you're coming.
Yeah,
That's
no, I'm
great.
very,
And
very
are you
excited.
going to be there?
I got a new baby, so
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'll be at home changing
Okay.
diapers.
Good.
But maybe I'll come out for a drink after if
Yeah, that'd be fun.
if my wife is cool. But
Yeah.
and she's cool. Why would I say that? She listens to this. You're so cool. I'll be out for a beer. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you so much for your time. This was
Thank you. That was
fantastic.
fun.
Welcome to the dessert. Shane, this is your part of the show. We have a guest. I'm just going to let you take it away because, as usual, Max and I have no idea what is going on right now.
Well, I think I mentioned this before because there was one time you guys kind of sprung a dessert on me, and I was kind of oscillating through all my ideas I had to bring on. I guess.
How do we spring a dessert on you?
Well, usually you give me a day's notice before we spring it.
okay.
You were like, okay, tomorrow morning we're doing it. And I was like, okay. And I just showed up and I didn't really have a dessert
yeah,
plan.
I remember
This
that.
was when we were in Ashley's office.
He
Maybe it
was
was in the
recording
evening.
an episode.
Yeah.
We sprung it on him. And so in that dessert, I think your whole bit was you didn't have a dessert.
Yeah.
Right. But I ran through some potential ideas I had, and this was one of them. So can you guess, Max?
I don't remember any of your
No.
ideas.
I don't remember recording the episode.
you
well, you were drunk by the end of it.
Mike has a good memory.
I do, but we were drinking that vodka from Scott Bruschetta that day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, we're trying to we're recording more podcasts now.
Yeah.
We're up to 3 a week.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get our numbers up
Oh, yes.
for social media.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you a social media expert?
I sure am.
Very good.
That's exciting.
So I've given her our Instagrams.
How did you guys connect, by the way?
Email.
Social
Yeah,
media.
not even social media. I know. I was like, oh, that's a weird request.
Well, my numbers are so low on social media, she probably wouldn't even respond to my DM. But we have okay numbers on YouTube, and Max is in the Arkells, which you do pretty well on.
All right, yeah.
Social
You
media.
do all right. Yeah. Sorry. So what is your name?
My name is Lisa Montenegro.
Lisa Montenegro.
Cool name.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mike. This is Max, Shane.
Very nice to meet you.
Would you even be sitting here with us if Max wasn't here?
Where do you work?
She just held her hand up like maybe, maybe not.
So I work with DMX Marketing.
cool.
So we're, digital
And that's no
marketing
affiliation
agency.
with the rapper.
Well, that's a funny story. You want to hear it?
Of course.
So his birthday and my birthday are actually very close together.
But not the same.
They're not the same, but they're very close.
It is
And I
fun.
have-
Both Scorpios. Yeah.
No, we're both Sagittarius.
Ah, me
actually.
too.
And I have this thing where I really like people whose birthdays are close to mine. And when I was like thinking of a name for my company, so I was wanting to be digital marketing expert, and DMX kept coming up over and over and over again. And I was like, you know what? That's it. That's the name. DMX.
Oh, cool.
X gon' give it to you.
Yeah.
So it is about DMX.
It
That's
is.
amazing. I actually stayed in a hotel once.
Yeah.
And DMX was there.
Cool. That's
and I got a
cool.
photo with him.
Man. Frame
Well,
that and put it in her office.
So
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty good.
just, exactly. It's all about that fifth degree of separation. So, like going back to Instagram, I hashtag DMX all the time, and it gets me great traffic.
X gon' give it to you.
There's that.
The first tip for us.
Exactly.
So we should be
Hashtag
hashtag. Write that
DMX.
down, Shane.
Well, I don't
I
know
will.
that you want to because it's got to be somewhat relevant. But
How many followers does DMX have?
honestly, I don't know.
Oh, wow. But if people somehow want to get your services, what do they do?
So online, dmxmarketing.com. Instagram, I'm Lisa Montenegro DMX. Or DMX Digital. It's always nice to talk to people.
Shut 'em down, open up shop.
For our listeners, Shane has his paper out. He's like a studious guy right now. He's ready to learn. I'm excited for this.
So what is a hashtag and how important are they?
So on Instagram, hashtags are pretty vital. Basically, a hashtag identifies that it's like a word that you want people to find you for. So, for example, you should be hashtagging podcasts because there's a lot of people who are looking for them and they're looking for interesting topics, right? So you would then be findable for that hashtag.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've given you all of our the nicknames.
Handles?
I've given you all of our handles
Yeah.
on social media. I just wanted to know, what am I in particular doing right?
What are you doing right? You're very personable. So when people go to your Instagram, they can see who you are, what you're all about.
Well, what am I doing wrong?
So one of the things that I noticed is that you're not engaging as much with people. So I see that you may post things and they may get comments and they may get likes, but I didn't see you reply very often.
Right.
So people want,
Shane
to know
only
that
replies
you're-
when he thinks he's being slandered, and then he comes
Yeah,
after him.
I do have a reaction to. They're called trolls, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I react to a troll.
yeah.
But a positive comment, I get embarrassed. Like I get, Shane, you're so handsome.
New hashtag.
Yeah.
Shane, you're so handsome.
And see, I noticed this kind of bothered me. Like I had more followers than Mike for a long period. Then all of a sudden he has a baby.
Yeah.
And he shot past me quite quickly. And
Yeah.
now he has at least 40 more followers than me.
Oh, 40.
Now- but
You're doing great.
I'm not into the numbers.
But I had probably 50 more followers than him, and now he has 40 more than me since we had our children.
Yeah.
Now my baby is a bald baby.
But all babies are cute. Come on.
I know, but here's my question for you.
Yeah.
My baby is 10 months old, and
Yeah.
bald is a cute ball. It has a few blonde hairs, but kind of like Homer Simpson style. Mike's baby came out with this newscaster hair. Now,
Oh, man.
I'm not sure if you have any empirical data on this, but do hair babies get any more likes and followers than non-hair babies?
Well, so you know what? If you think about the Gerber baby way back when,
Yeah.
the Gerber baby was bald. So
Hey,
the
there you
Gerber
go.
baby, like your baby should be getting more attention. So you might be doing something else wrong.
Jeez. I don't know. Maybe she's just not a cute baby.
I don't know. She looked pretty adorable, actually, when
thank
I
you.
saw her.
That's
yeah,
what I was fishing for.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and both of your babies are pretty adorable.
So you've checked out Mike's account.
Yes.
What is Mike doing right? Because obviously it's something.
Well, he's verified, right? That's the first thing. You want to get verified if you can. Like, you guys are in the
How
entertainment.
does one get verified?
It's not that hard. You just need to actually go into your settings and then check where it says get verified. Yet click off that you want to do it, and then you have to send in your ID so Instagram
it.
can see that it's you. Because really,
Crazy.
what it's about is making sure that your name matches who you are. Like, I can't get verified because my ID says a different name than what I go by. So I've got a great account, but I will never be verified.
So is because my nickname's Shaney Boy69, is that impeding?
Maybe.
Yeah, that
Bunch,
Yeah.
of, bunch of prudes at the office. Should have went with Shaney Boy 83, and that would have been a little better.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and actually, you just brought up something that I would recommend. Change your name.
I thought she was going to
Yeah.
say have a hair baby.
No,
The next
sorry.
one's got it.
Wigs would work, right? But
Wigs.
no.
There you go.
Seriously,
Hashtag
the cuteness
wigs.
of your babies has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
They're both cute.
So
But
just
your
have
name-
just be Shane Cunningham. Because
Yes.
I'm trying to be kind of funny, and I thought 69's funny, but maybe it's not.
Well, it could mean a
working.
whole bunch of different things, right? You don't necessarily
What
want
are the,
that.
what are the other
Yeah.
things?
Yeah, it only means one thing. Is
We're not going to go there. No, but most people assume it's your date of birth. It's your year of birth.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what they assume.
Ah.
They
right?
think you're an
So
older
we're just-
gentleman, born
Right.
in 1969.
Okay. And the other thing is.
We don't want to go there.
Leave that for the hashtag.
You know.
Yeah.
Now Max, he's got his feet kicked up. He's smiling. He's obviously very happy with his Instagram.
Yeah.
His social media
No,
situation's
no.
pretty good.
Now, what is he doing right? Is it because he's in this popular band, or is his social media actually helping his band?
No, I would say his band is helping his social media.
Do you think the fans want to see more of just the lead singer, or maybe some of the other members to be featured from time to time?
Oh, they want the other members too.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you follow someone and they don't follow you back, what is the acceptable amount of time to unfollow them?
I usually say 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah.
Okay, cool off period.
Yeah.
We're starting like a morning type of chat show. It's going to be a pod on a more regular basis. We're going to
Okay.
do it a couple times a week. So we're trying to think of a good name to attract a bigger audience. Now we have
Cool.
two. There's Free Dumb,
Okay.
and then there's Brunch. Which name do you think is more marketable?
How are you spelling freedom? Just like
Well, that's a good question, actually. So we're spelling it Free, and then dumb is spelled DUM. Because the idea is we're so dumb that we don't even know how to spell it.
I kind of like it.
I thought
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brunch is kind of, people will think of food, but I like the freedom.
All right, I came up with that one.
Awesome.
Marketing genius.
And what is the best filter?
Well, you know what? So that you have to decide your own brand and then figure out what filter goes best with it.
Duck lips in 2019. Is that in or out?
I hope it's out.
Because Max, this is mainly for Max. He's a fan of those.
Do I do this?
You do.
All right.
Okay, Max Madden. Last question. Are you familiar with the game Marry F Kill?
No.
Okay, you have to picture who you would marry, who you would F, and who you would kill. Captions, hashtags, or the photos.
I'm not sure. That's an interesting question. So marry, F, or kill?
Yeah. So, for instance, in the way my logic is,
Yeah.
I would marry photos.
Okay.
I would, because on Instagram, I would think that's the most important.
Yeah.
I would kill captions,
Okay.
and then I would F hashtags.
Okay. So I would marry video, actually, short video.
She zigged.
Yeah.
That's
And,
interesting, 'cause that wasn't on the list.
well,
I'm not mad. I just
it's very important. Video is
video
huge.
just as important as photos, would you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Whoa.
In fact, sometimes it's more important because
For our medium, what do you think? Do you think?
Oh, for you guys, video.
we should be doing video all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
noted.
Yeah.
Set up a
Okay.
tripod right now, boys.
F.
'Cause you're a
no,
believer
you know
in the
what?
hashtag, but
Oh, yeah, I was
smart
gonna
comment
say.
though, or smart caption is
Because
good.
the caption is actually just as important, and hashtags are very important as well. So
But you have to
can't-
F one of them.
Okay. So the hashtag is F. No, I can't because the hashtag is so important.
No, F's a good thing. It's like having intercourse with.
Okay. So the hashtag.
That's how rough riders roll.
We're heading out right now, but she gave us one last tip that I'm going to crowbar in here.
Change your profile to a business profile.
That's it. That's all. That's our episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Natalie Prass for coming on the show. Thank you to Lisa Montenegro for coming on and being a social media expert. And to everybody that helps make this podcast happen.
Yeah, huge thanks to Webby D especially.
Yeah. The Mike and Much podcast is produced by Max Kerman. I'm your host, Mike Kerman. See you next week if we don't die on the weekend.